Welcome to this episode of the 94twenty podcast, where we talk about the music that we love and the industry that we tolerate.
Give me a minute, let me soak it all in. Let me think about burning the bridges I'm still crossing. Liquor on your breath, making me feel hypnotized. Give me a chance to open up my eyes wide. I'm not the type of girl to let it all go for a guy who doesn't even know her deepest, darkest fears and fantasies. And even if I did, I'm still not that type of girl. 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 Let's talk this over, but you're half asleep. You're not listening to anything about my dream. Maybe I'm stupid to think that you're the one, when all the signs are telling me get up and run. I'm not the type of girl to let it all go for a guy who doesn't even know her deepest, darkest fears and fantasies. And even if I did, I'm still not that type of girl. 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 I'm not the type of girl to let it all go for a guy who doesn't even know her deepest, darkest fears and fantasies. And even if I did, I'm not the type of girl to let it all go for a guy who doesn't even know her deepest, darkest fears and fantasies. And even if I did, I'm still not that type of girl. 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 Not that type of girl.
Hey everyone, that was Bridget Rian with Type of Girl. Welcome to the 94twenty podcast. Hi Carl and Greg, how are you guys doing today?
Hello.
Hey, Nicole. Hey, Greg.
I love it when Carl does that.
It's a very special day today
And why is that?
because it's Greg's birthday.
That's right. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Nice.
Happy birthday to you.
Wow.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
I like the princess sparkle at the end.
As much as that was heartwarming. And as much work as you
We
went
don't need a
to,
license for that. It's
yeah,
public
I'm
domain.
afraid we do.
We do not. We do not.
It's a it's
I licensed it. I paid for it. It's mine. We're playing it tough. Come on.
okay. So you went ahead and got a license because it is a licensable work, unfortunately.
No, it's
Well, so and now
anyway.
Carl is claiming publicly.
You didn't even start yet, and already there's rules. If I say it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
The
So
rules.
yeah.
Don't
So
question me.
Carl has used the auspiciousness of
Anyway,
of my
you
birthday to ruin the value
licensing.
proposition for the
There
for the
is
podcast.
again. We always do. We jump the gun and we kind of forget about discussing the song we just heard, which I think was pretty great.
Yeah, I like
By-
it. I like it.
By Bridget Rian, Type of Girl. So where did we
I wanted
find
to
her,
talk
Nicole?
about my birthday actually, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and talk about Bridget's. I love the piano. She's got to email us or reach out to us and tell us about that piano sound. I think that piano sound is wonderful.
And I'm pretty sure Paul Moak.
Oh yeah,
actually,
right. She's another Paul
She's
Moak.
a Paul Moak artist.
That's what amazes me. She's another. I got to meet
He
this Paul Moak
produces.
guy.
He produces. Yeah. Okay.
Everything
Cool.
I hear that comes out of Paul Moak's studio, I love. We've tried to contact him, we've tried to contact him a bunch of times, and he never gets back to us. There's so many great acts, that he's done that I just love everything he's done. I haven't heard one bad thing out of his
piano sound was really vibing.
Well, and we have the in now because Bridget actually came to us through Natalie, who owns Lady Savage Management. She heard our podcast probably a couple months ago, thought that Bridget would be a really good fit for what we were doing, and turns out she was right.
We make light of the whole licensing thing, but the fact of the matter is that there is method to our madness, and the idea that we are actually obtaining proper authorization for the music that we feature on 9420, that's going to be expanded into other areas of licensing. And hopefully these acts that we would love to put in the position of being discovered by music supervisors and by others, hopefully that's all going to come to fruition here in the spring.
Well, I guess we can talk about that because what we've done is just now, right off the bat, if you want to hear, all compiled, all the music that we've licensed so far for our podcast, you can go to the 9420 playlist up on Spotify. And it has about 75 songs of great artists, that we've legally licensed their music for our podcast. And then we're starting a weekly Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, Nicole, because I don't know what we're doing.
So the weekly Clubhouse chat.
I know we're doing it, but I don't know anything about it.
So the premise behind it is at some point we will have a authorized Clubhouse club on the app where it's basically going to be called Music Discovery Through Podcasting. And the goal is to kind of have a conversation around music licensing when it comes to the podcasting world and kind of how we're being the forefront people in offering the licensing aspect, and also have it be a discovery process for music supervisors who are on the app, because we're going to be doing little snippets each week of the artists that we have featured so far.
We're going to play music on Clubhouse,
Yep.
right? We figured out a way to get really good sound on Clubhouse, not just hold the speaker up to your phone.
Folks that are fans of the podcast will be likely adding Clubhouse to their mix of social media soon. If you are, hit us up on there and definitely get inside the conversations that we're going to be having on a regular basis. It's going to be really kind of behind the scenes stuff on music licensing and how we built the podcast.
And if you think we're annoying here, just listening to it,
wait.
Wow, you will not believe how annoying we're going to be on this.
There, you could actually
exactly right.
Actually, confront us.
Yep.
That's going to be the unfiltered podcast. There is no editing or anything. So
You could actually, because probably when you hear things I say, you go, "Oh, this guy's an idiot." Now you can actually raise your hand and call me an idiot.
Yes, call you an idiot. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's absolutely new technology, interesting. Things are in flux. I'm not even so sure that they have their music licensing situation
I don't
in
think they do
hand.
yet.
I mean, we've got ours in hand. I doubt they do, but they're busy making billions of dollars in valuation.
Well, hopefully, what this will do, attract music supervisors, to come join us on the conversation and play a couple tunes, get them interested, and help you guys get real licenses, get real syncs.
Yeah, we heard today that there's a little allocation coming from to the rights holders of the music that we featured on 9420. So that's really great. That's great news. The system works. This is probably boring, folks, but this is really one of the reasons we did the podcast.
But this week too, there was also, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this, there was an announcement from SoundCloud on them restructuring how they're going to be paying independent artists who are on the platform. Have you guys
it's a
heard
very, very, very positive kind of news out of SoundCloud, and the reason it's positive is because you're basically amassing a royalty or a percentage of a license fee payment direct. So what that means is that the users of SoundCloud are actually in the position where they're going to be generating the fees and the royalties based on their streaming. They will generate the royalties that will be going to the artists involved and the rights holders involved. So it is a very positive attribute. Here's the issue. There are very, very, very few people on the platform currently that will be able to monetize in that way. And if you are signed to a major label, or if you are signed to a major music publisher, they have no interest in doing that deal with SoundCloud. So that's the problem. But for indies, I highly recommend they get over there. So,
it's becoming like, to me though, this is my, devil's advocate of everything. But it's like the McDonald's. They're like, everyone wants to be McDonald's. Like, why? It used to be where McDonald's made the hamburgers, Roy Rogers made the roast beef sandwiches, Volkswagen made the compact cars, Cadillac made the luxury cars. Everybody wants to be all things all the time, and it's all going to implode, I think.
Well, I mean, I think I think to some degree, I would agree. I mean, you can't be all things to all people, and these digital services, typically, that tends to be the way they pivot sometime. But with regard to it being a direct relationship between the rights holder and the music user, I applaud them for that.
But they're paying $7.99 a month, $14.99 a month, depending on what package they have. They've been making tons of money for years, paying nobody anything. So all of a sudden now they're deciding going to pay somebody some money. Yeah. It's just like, to me, I don't get it. I used to love Pizza Hut, but now when I go into Pizza Hut, it's a Pizza Hut / Baskin Robbins / Dunkin' Donuts. I'm sorry, that's too much in one little place. Either sell me pizza,
used to like the Pizza Hut,
or sell me donuts. Crispy. Don't sell me everything in the same. It's like, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah. At Pizza Hut started selling wings too. I was like, no.
Yeah, they went into like the wings Italian bistro world. And
wouldn't it be fun though to go to a Pizza Hut and sit and have your pizza brought to you and listen to the jukebox and stuff? Wouldn't it? God,
like
remember when we used to be able to do that?
Why don't we do that? We open a Pizza Hut diner. They just sell Pizza Hut.
They have to have the stuffed crust pizza, though. That was like their saving grace when I was a kid. That was probably the only thing we ever got from there.
Did you have a place that you went in your high school years that you ate pizza, or more importantly, did that place have a jukebox, and can you remember some of the songs that were on the jukebox?
No, they didn't have a jukebox in the pizza place in Long Island.
Yes, they did.
Well, I don't know where you went, but in the diners, they had the little jukeboxes at each little booth. But in the pizza parlors, there was no jukebox.
There wasn't a jukebox in the individual booths, but they had a jukebox at the actual
There was
pizza
no music
place.
being played. They played the radio.
Over speakers in the ceiling?
No, they had some pizza places had like boom boxes they'd set up on the counter and play the radio through that.
Well, my Pasquale's Pizza in Jeffersonville, Indiana, that was about 1.5 miles from Jeffersonville High School, they had a jukebox. And the song I remember listening to hundreds of times was Photograph by Ringo Starr. And I wish, based on this licensing talk that we're discussing, I wish that now we could listen to Photograph Ringo Starr, but that's not currently a reality. So I'll just have to listen
Well, we
to it
could,
in my
it's just that we don't
mind's eye. We could, but
just do it illegally.
It would,
yeah.
or
And
it'll
I-
cost
and I-
us an arm and a leg to get
and
the
I ain't
license.
going there yet, but
So tell us about your birthday. What's going on there?
no. That ship has sailed. My
You know
birthday
what?
ship has
Just to
sailed.
annoy you again.
Yep.
Happy
Stop.
birthday to
You don't have a license for it. That's
We
funny.
should have
That is-
had cake.
That is
Thank you very much, Carl, for thinking of me in that way. And Carl also sent me
Happy birthday to
Carl sent me one of those jib jab things. He loves that, and that was actually a good one because you were in there too. I think everybody says this when they get to be my age, but I do not give my birthday a second thought. But it's been nice. I mean, since the advent of social networks, people jump on there and say happy birthday because they know it's your birthday because of the social network.
I don't put my birthday on Facebook. I don't want because I don't want. If you don't know what my birthday is because you're my friend, I don't want a birthday thing from you.
You just had a birthday, and I didn't remember it for the life of me. And you
I
had
don't know.
mentioned it.
But you're normally like, if I don't know you personally, I'm not going to wish you happy birthday, send you a cake with balloons and shit.
Yeah.
That's not my thing.
So you know
When
what?
is your birthday, Nicole?
July 11th, 7-Eleven. It's pretty easy to remember.
7-Eleven.
Now we know
All right.
7-Eleven, so we'll bring this back.
I'll make sure that we properly license.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
But what I was going to say though, I only use Facebook for like business purposes. Like if I have other clients or whatnot, I help them with strategies for it. I don't really go on it, but my family is so big because my dad has 10 brothers and sisters. My mom's one of 3. There's like
That's wild.
a bajillion cousins. I actually have to have a Google Calendar with everyone's birthday on it to make sure I like remember when it is, whose birthday it is, and how many do we have this month, because it's too much to keep track of.
Do you want to play a song?
Yeah, let's play a song. The other artist we're featuring this week is another
A
lady.
song we have a license for?
A song we do have a license for.
Well, we didn't have a license. He sent us his driver's license.
Oh, no.
So this is another Lady Savage Management client named Don Pedigo. So very excited to be able to feature him as well. Which song are we playing?
Young and Dead.
Young
Wait a
and
minute.
Dead. Yep.
Let's hear it. This is Don Pedigo.
Young cowhand riding your spotted mare through the dusty breeze of the desert air. No one to love, nowhere to lay your head. Keep on living this way, you'll be young and dead. Quick with a pistol, solid as they come. You sent 10 men to their graves before you were 21. When push came to shove, you put them all to bed. Keep on living this way, you'll be young and dead. Yippee-ki-yay, 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 steady as she goes. Lawman don't hang you, then a bastard will shoot you down. And you won't know what hit you until you hit the ground and see your own eyes and the life that they've led. You keep on living this way, you'll be young and dead. land somewhere of many suns and grow old. Don't give up on love, don't fight until the end. Keep on living this way, you'll be young and dead. Yippee-ki-yay, steady as she goes. Yippee-ki-yay, yippee-ki-oh, yippee-ki-yay, steady as she goes. Yippee-ki-yay, yippee-ki-oh, yippee-ki-yay, steady as she goes.
That was Don Pedigo. Kind of really more traditional, right? What's that stuff? Kind of like that. It reminds you of what, Town Van Zant. You know what I'm talking about, Greg?
Well, yeah, that's
Traditional-
kind of songwriter stuff. I mean, what it reminds me of is, and this is something that I've been waiting for years, and that is there was a genre of music pre-Americana that were people that Western music was a big influence in what they were doing. It came out of the West, came out of California, it came out of other parts west, and it was people like Poco, people like Michael Martin Murphey, people like, and this is the 70s, people like Southern Hillman Fury Band,
Who's the guy?
John
who
David
was the-
Souther.
Yeah, but no, he
No?
was the Eagles and stuff. But even prior to them, he used to hang out with Keith Richards. He died young. He
Talk about
named
Graham Parsons?
Graham Parsons. As that Graham Parsons.
Graham
vibe.
Parsons was part of this movement, part of this clique.
I think he was kind of one of the forefront,
One of the founding fathers of
innovators
that.
of it.
Yeah, so it was kind of an amalgamation of Americana and Western swing, and there were kind of cowboy themes, and then there was also like that kind of hip LA country thing from maybe possibly influenced a little bit by the Laurel Canyon crowd. And this sounds like that a little
Right,
bit.
exactly.
And so I hope he identifies as somebody that's going to bring some of that back. I think that would be terrific. I'm a huge Michael Martin Murphey fan, always have been. He had an enormous hit in the 70s called Wildfire, but he made a lot of really cool records. And I believe that Blue Sky Night Thunder is essentially the landmark first. I'm going to get people complaining about this, but I believe that Blue Sky Night Thunder might be the first Americana record.
Okay. So have we had a topic? Have we talked about anything?
We talked about
music.
We talked about music. We talked about the streaming stuff that happened with SoundCloud. We were going to talk about the fact that CMA Fest got canceled again, but we haven't done that yet.
Well, okay.
CMA's got to pay us a sponsor.
I heard CMA's got canceled this year again. Is that true?
No,
Nicole?
no, it's true. I mean, they came out and said that they're not going to have it this year, that they'll be back in 2022. And I think a lot of artists were disappointed because the understanding that I have from just talking with some people this week is that was kind of going to be the kickoff to what could be a potentially great summer when it came to live concerts. So
What's going on down there as far as like up here in New York, we're still in mask mandate world, still social distancing. I know Texas has opened the doors. Everything's free. They're 100% open again. What's Tennessee doing?
I mean, I think Tennessee's close to kind of what Texas is doing, but we're not over the mask mandates yet. There are still some counties that have them, some counties that don't. I believe Nashville just allowed, I don't know what phase they're in, phase 100, 975 or whatnot. But
What phase?
so Nashville has had these phases. So like we were in phase 1 at one point, and then they rolled into phase 2, then they rolled back to phase 1, then they skipped to phase 3. So like they're just like different restrictions in each phase. I lost count during the summer, but I know that
Like
they said
DEFCON 4?
they rolled
DEFCON 2?
they rolled into whatever phase allows the bars to be open till 1:00 in the morning and allow the restaurants to be at like 75% capacity. So more people could be in there. And I believe they can now have more musicians rotate in and out on a nightly basis.
Well, for one, there's one funny thing. I don't know if you've heard this, but they have a new phrase now. It's called "get the jab." Got
Get the jab. What is that?
Get jabbed with the vaccine. You got a jab? Get a
Oh.
jab? Get a jab. I got my first jab. You got both jabs, right, Greg?
I've been jabbed twice.
I'm waiting for my second jab next week.
How
You're
was
too young
how
for this.
was your second jab?
I mean, I
I think
had
the second
heard
one's
that-
in your eye, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of the podcast. For all of the links to anything that we've discussed, you can go to our website, which is 94twenty.com. That is the numbers 94 and the letters TWENTY. Until next time, we'll talk to
And-
y'all later.
And if you want to hear more of us or interact with us, where do we go?
Go to Clubhouse.
And when do we think we're going to be doing that? Every Thursday now?
Every Thursday at 8, most likely, unless there's something that comes up, and then we can just change it and let everyone know.
8 Central.
8 Central.
And what's the name of the room?
So the room is Discovering Music Through Podcasting.
With Greg, Carl, and Nicole.
Yes. All right, everyone. We'll talk to y'all later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Good night.